The amount of money you borrow right now in PA school is going to shape the next 2 to 10 years of your life. The amount of money you borrow right now in PA school is going to shape the next 2 to 10 years of your life. I know that sounds really scary and really dramatic, but that's the truth, because the average PA graduates school with over $100,000 in student loan debt, and it takes them on average 10 to 20 years to pay it off. That means that every decision that you make for the next decade, for the next 10 years, whether it's planning a wedding or going on a honeymoon or buying a house, that is going to be heavily influenced by your massive amount of student loan debt. Now ask yourself, is that the life you want to live? Is that what you want? Do you want to be constantly worried about money for the next 10 or 20 years? If the answer is no, then you really have to start setting yourself up for financial freedom right now, before you earn a six-figure income, before you acquire even more student loan debt, before you're in the trenches, burnt out, and making decisions based on money. Now, I'm not here trying to scare you or tell you that this is a bad career. No, I love the PA profession. I love being a PA, but I want you to be realistic and manage your expectations from very early stages. Now, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Sami. I paid off over $150,000 in student loan debt in 4 years without a sugar daddy. And I hit $1 million net worth in my 30s. In 2021, I quit my full-time PA job after 9 years practicing, and my husband and I moved our kids to Thailand to live on a beach. And it was supposed to be a 6-month vacation, but now it's been 3 years. I never returned, and I still haven't collected a real paycheck. And I spent my days talking to you guys on social media, teaching PAs to become work optional, to pay off all the student loan debt early, because I firmly believe that every single PA can hit $1 million net worth within 10 years of clinical practice. But it starts with education. So if you want to be financially free and you want to be work optional and you want to have options in your 30s and your 40s, here's what you have to do. One, you really need to borrow as little money as humanly possible while you're in school. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking what most PAs are thinking. I'm going to take out the maximum amount of loan money possible, just in case I need it. But here's the thing. Once that loan money hits your account, suddenly you'll need it for every single thing possible. Trust me, I've heard all. I've heard all the excuses from real PA students in my DMs. They say things like, well, Sam, I used that money to pay for an Airbnb when I was doing out-of-state rotations. Or, Sam, I was just really stressed out, so I only spent $1,000 on an all-inclusive trip to Mexico. Or they'll say, well, Sam, I need new tires because my car's really old, so I spent the money. So that's the thing. You spent the money, because when the money is in your account, you can spend it, you spend it. But when the money is not in your account, you won't spend it. It's not even an option to spend it. And it's that simple. So don't take out more loan money than you actually need. Take out what you need, what's necessary, and stick to a strict budget. Which leads me to point number 2. Track your expenses and live below your means. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, how do I know how much money I actually need? And what about emergencies? What if I get sick? What if my car breaks down? What do I do then? Well, let's break it down. First, you need to figure out how much money you actually need to survive your very first semester in PA school. How do you do this? Well, you talk to upperclassmen and ask them about their experience. Ask them about their monthly expenses. How much money they pay for rent? How many roommates do they have? What are their utility bills look like? And how much money are they spending a month? And whatever number they give you, reduce it by 15%. Now, 15% is just a random number that I chose. And the reason why you want to cut it down is because I promise you those upperclassmen, they're probably not on a journey to financial independence. They're probably not watching my content, and they probably are not on a very strict budget, even though they may think they are. Most people think they're financially smart with their money. In reality, they're kind of like smart-ish with their budget. So the thing is, you can just start by taking out less money in your first semester and then just reevaluate after that. So think about this. Maybe you borrow too much money, and now at the end of the semester, you have an extra $3,000 left. Great. Now you know that you took out too much. So then for next semester, you'll take out $3,000 less. Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you went to the other extreme and you took this advice a little too much and you took out barely any money, and now you're struggling for groceries. So now you know, okay, well, I probably need an extra $1,500. So now you're doing the math and you're adjusting over time. If you stick to a budget and you track your expenses daily, you'll start to spot patterns in your spending. Now, here's an example. You might notice that during exam week, you're gonna splurge a lot more. I call this stress shopping. It's happened to me when I was in PA school. During exam weeks, I would go out and eat, I would go to the mall, I would buy random shit to make me feel better, a little pick me up. And that might happen to you. Maybe early on the semester, you don't spend as much, but during those exam weeks, you're gonna be like swiping your credit card. That's pretty common. Or maybe you realize, well, I actually spend a lot of money in the winter because in the winter, I am just lazy. I don't wanna go grocery shopping, so I order a shit ton of food on Uber Eats. And that's just racking my bill. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe you realize I actually don't spend any money in the winter because it's so cold. I don't want to get out, so all I do is stay in and I just eat soup. So then your budget is much lower. The idea here is when you track your expenses, you can recognize these patterns. And so therefore you can better plan and avoid unnecessary spending. The more you're aware of your habits, this is a high level of self-awareness, the easier it is for you to make adjustments and keep your budget on track. Now the key here is to really do it consistently. That's the key word, consistently. Most people can track their budget for a month or even 2 months and then they realize, it's not working for me and they stop. But only 24% of people can track their expenses daily and manage their budget and adjust their budget over a span of 6 months. How crazy is that? 24% can manage a budget for over 6 months. So if you can do that and just track your expenses daily for 2 years, you beat everybody else. How cool is that? Now, here's what I would suggest. Don't do what I did. I took out the max amount of loan money every single semester because that was what's recommended by my professors, my PA program. And guess what? I spent all of it, all the money. And so did all of my friends. Every single one of my friends took out the max amount of money every single semester. And we thought we were doing it the right thing, the smart thing. And I think I followed what they were doing because I thought they were smarter than me. Now, they might have been, book smart. They might have known a few things more than I do, better study habits. But when it came to money management, I realized they actually weren't smarter than me. They're just like me because they've never paid off a massive amount of debt. They're not PA millionaires and they don't really know the path to financial freedom. So why would I take advice from them when, in fact, I should probably take advice from somebody else who's been there and done that? So learn from my mistakes. Don't take out more money than you need. Just aim for the bare minimum and start there. Basic essentials. And so now this leads me to plan B, which is if you take out very little money and you find yourself really strapped for cash and you need money now, like today, here's what you can do. First, you're gonna swallow your pride and take a big deep breath and ask for help. From your mom, your dad, your sister, brothers, cousin, uncle, best friend, I don't care who you call. You pick up the phone and you say, hey, listen, I need money and I need money now. And explain the situation and just give them like an IOU. Say, hey, once I graduate PA school, I'll pay back, I promise. Most time your family's gonna help you out. Very rarely are they gonna let you drown. But what if you don't have family? What if you don't have any friends? What if nobody loves you? Well, you can go the other route, which is get a private loan. Now, obviously the interest rates on a private loan is significantly higher than a federal loan, but they're actually really easy to get because lenders, they know that you'll be soon earning a 6-figure income the minute you graduate from PA school. And they'll gladly transfer you the money into your account literally tomorrow because they want to loan to you because they know you're going to make a lot of money and it's going to work out really well for them. But you really don't want to consider a private loan unless you have to. Now, option 3 is if you can't get your family to give you money and you don't qualify for federal loans because you have terrible credit, your last resort is obviously that emergency credit card. Now, obviously with a credit card, it is going to be 25 to 30% APR. So you really don't want to use that credit card unless you absolutely have to. But let's be real here. What are the chances of something crazy, something bad happening to you while you're in PA school? Chances are pretty slim. Now, you know you shouldn't be maxing your credit cards and you know you shouldn't take out private loans unless you absolutely have to because those are your last resorts. Ideally, your federal loans should cover you for the next 2 years. And again, you're gonna take out very little of that federal loan. So yes, that means you're gonna be a really broke college student. That's okay. It's a season of your life. It's temporary. It's just for 24, 27 months. You're gonna be broke. So no, you're not going to be sipping mimosas on brunch every single weekend. You're not going to be eating out constantly, trying new restaurants because you literally cannot afford it. Right now, government money, Federal loans, those are borrowed money. Borrowed money is not free money. It's borrowed money at a very high interest rate. Now, let me tell you this one thing that you might not even consider, because I didn't consider this when I was in PA school. You have to pay back all of your debt with a 5 to 8% interest rate. You would assume that the interest rates doesn't start accruing into your account until you graduate PA school and you start your first job. That would make sense, right? But the reality is that's not true. That's not true. Those loans start accruing a ton of interest, 5 or 8% interest, the minute that money hits your account. The minute the lender, the federal government, puts that money into your account, that's when it starts accruing interest. That means that you're racking up interest from day one of PA school. That's why at the end amount, even though you think you only owe $100,000, it's up being 120, 130, because interest really compounds over time for 24, 27 months, however long your program is. Now, if that doesn't make you shit your pants, it really should. Now, I'm not trying to be like terrifying and scare you and say it's a bad idea. Again, PA school is a great idea. It's a great professor and I love what I do. But I wish I would have had this talk before I dug myself into $150,000 in student loan debt. Luckily for me, I paid that off for 4 years because I got my shit together. Most PAs right now are still struggling to pay off their loans after being out of school for 10 years. And the reason why there's so much early burnout in the profession is because we have this massive amount of debt that's just looming over us, and every decision we make comes down to debt. If that's not what you want to do with the rest of your life, take action now. Create a budget, take out less loan money, track your expenses, and be financially smart with your money. If you found this content helpful and valuable, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, how much debt you owe, and what you're struggling with, and maybe I can help you with the next video. But again, guys, thanks again for being here. I will see you in the next video.